It's time to review the new Daya record, Sit Still, Look Pretty. I'm back rocking this shirt and tie get down that I've had in my videos earlier this year, and I really think I'm going to try to keep it. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like the shirt and tie thing? Do you not? I mean, I love it. I feel like the videos are a little bit more professional, but I don't want it to make you guys, feel like you're in a job interview. It's just us. We're just talking. But anywho, it is time for this Daya project to get reviewed. So Daya is a pop songstress. This has really been her year, between her collaboration with the Chainsmokers, Don't Let Me Down, which to me is an absolutely horrible, predictable, bland song, and Hideaway, and the title track from this, which is one of her breakout singles, again, Sit Still and Look Pretty. She just had a lot of success this year, which, good for her. She had this EP that dropped a while back. Those songs from that EP, if I'm remembering right, when I looked it up, all of them are on this album. So we're getting a batch of old songs that have been out for, the duration of, half a year or more than that. And then we're getting, the other half of this completely new tracks. I understand why you might put the really good cuts or the singles from an EP on an album later down the road, but when you take a whole EP and put it as part of an album, and then the other tracks, you're only having to add maybe 5 or 6 more songs instead of 8 or 9. Then at that point it feels really like a cop-out to me, and it feels somewhat phoned in. And I think a big part of it was a mistake on whoever's decision this was, because on her EP she doesn't sound as matured, she doesn't sound as polished and as confident as she does on some of the tracks that weren't on the EP, the ones that are newer to us. If you compare the vocals to, let's say the song Hideaway, which was on the EP a while back, and you put it up against a song like Dare, the opening track, I feel like the confidence and the swagger is a lot higher on Dare on these later recordings than on the former ones. It makes it tough already because Daya is not an incredibly impressive singer. Her range is not that expansive. She really doesn't have a whole lot of character. She can carry a tune. She's in key, don't get me wrong, but she just doesn't have that certain something. And so especially when you have these older tracks where her voice is even weaker than it normally would be now, it's very uncaptivating. The songs I'm talking about mostly with that are songs like Legendary, songs like Hideaway. I feel like one of the only exceptions to that rule is the song You Won Too, which was on the EP. I do have a little beef with this song though, and another song on this album that does it is the most pleasant vocals that are on these recordings are coming from a singer that doesn't even sound like Daya. It sounds like a man. I feel like this project was pretty rushed, to be honest. Because not only do we have the half and half, old tracks and weaker vocals, and then new tracks and more confidence, but we also have songs that really project these contradictory messages. For example, we have let's take the breakout single, the one that pretty much everybody knows, and that is Sit Still and Look Pretty. Okay, I like this song, and I like the message that it can promote, not being a man's plaything, really standing up for yourself and knowing what you deserve in a relationship. Flip side of that coin, I feel like this song could be misconstrued by young girls that are listening to this. Instead of thinking, oh, I need a guy that treats me right, they'll think, oh, I don't need a guy at all, I'll just be a lesbian. But anywho, we'll take this song like Sit Still and Look Pretty, or a song like Hideaway, where she's saying there are no good men left, and a song like Thirsty, where she's saying this one guy specifically, but probably in general guys are very thirsty and they just want one thing. Let's take these songs, and then let's compare them to the songs like Cool and Legendary, where she's kind of promoting a short-term relationship or a one-night stand kind of situation, or a friends with benefits kind of situation, just keeping it cool, keeping it casual, and not committing to a guy. it makes no sense to have a couple songs where, you know, you're being the player and you're being the heartbreaker, and then in other songs you're kind of dogging the male race and saying that we're pieces of crap. And I really shouldn't be surprised, because this is pretty much how every girl Daya's age treats guys nowadays. I mean, this is like every female college student between the age of 18 and 23. But nevertheless, it sounds funny on a record when every couple tracks you're flip-flopping between how you view things. This album is not a total waste for me. It wasn't a waste of my time. I'm glad I didn't review it right away, because I would have probably dogged it. But after sitting with this, some songs do grow on me. You know, especially the instrumentation on these tracks, I really do enjoy. We've got these very friendly and bubbly major key, you know, progressions and instrumentation. It's just got an overall feel-good vibe for the most part. Along, you know, and underneath those melodies, we have, you know, hip-hop influenced production coming through with the hi-hats and the bass lines. And I do have a little bit of an issue with the overusing the DJ Mustard clap on several of the tracks, but other than that, it's not bad, and some of these beats are actually, you know, quite earworm. I like the song Thirsty, while I think the lyrical content is just bland and, you know, really immature. The little marimbas that carry out the melody on this thing, along with the kind of cartoonish vocal sample, it gets stuck in your head super easy. Sit still and look pretty. We all know that's a very catchy beat. Those quirky little synths that come in the back on the chorus there, and the song Cool, which is a little bit more chill. It's a little bit more romantic sounding. Sounds like something that would be off Carly Rae Jepsen's latest project. And surprisingly, a track that really grew on me, which when I first listened to it, I was kind of like, okay. But the more I listened to it, I was like, yeah, like, this is my jam. Is the song Talk, where, you know, Daya breaks away from the relationship stuff, and she talks about having a certain style. You know, talking about, you know, I don't like him Yeezus, I like him Kanye West, and, you know, just basically telling the haters, this is my style, I'm gonna keep my style. She, you know, promotes being quirky, promotes having your own thing and really embracing that, and I like that. There's a couple of eye roll moments where she's, you know, talking about how she's a 90s kid, and this girl's like 17. Like, you were born in, like, what, 98, 99? Like, you're not a 90s child if you spent the last year and a half of the decade in diapers and you don't remember any of it. But the bass drop is nice. I like the rim shot clicking, clacking kind of snare that comes through with the bass. That sounds very nice. Along with the chorus, that chanting chorus is very catchy and sounds good. A couple other tracks I like on this are In Case You Missed It. I mostly like this just for the beat and the instrumentation. It sounds good. I really like the snares and the hi-hats on this, but Daya telling a guy, hey, in case you missed it, I'm over you. Also, I talked about the song You Won Too, which is a nice, you know, kind of neo-soul influenced ballad here that just sounds good. We've got a couple other moments on this thing that are just like the song Back to Me, which is a good piano ballad, but it's going way too fast. Like, the chords on this are too pretty to be played this fast. And then we also have the song Words, which is essentially just a knockoff of a Calvin Harris beat, and it's a little, just a tad bit more cracked out in the chorus. And to be honest, the last couple songs on the album, I don't really even remember, even though I've heard them like 4 times. This album isn't horrible, but this album has a lot of issues. It's rushed. You know, the themes on this thing are so inconsistent and all over the place, and I think what this album is trying to do is just make a bunch of potential singles and dance tracks. I don't think it's really trying to have a set mentality here. I mean, it's a mainstream pop record from a 17-year-old girl. While I do like some of these songs and they're catchy and they have replay value for me, she's just not that mesmerizing of an artist. I mean, you know, not only was this project rushed, but I feel like her career is just being snowballed and rushed, and they're trying to plow her into the public eye and have her be this, you know, entity that she doesn't really deserve to be. I mean, you know, we talked about her vocals aren't incredibly impressive. Her songwriting skills are next to non-existent because she wrote the opening track on this thing, or co-wrote it, and that's the only one out of all, 14 tracks. And it's probably the second or third weakest one on here, so that's kind of a detriment in itself. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have room to develop, but right now, in the state she's in and the music she's making, she is not all that fantastic. I personally don't think that she was ready for a mainstream debut. I mean, am I glad she gave it to us? Kinda, because I got talk out of it. I got Sit Still and Look Pretty. I could have waited until you gave me something with a little bit more substance and a little bit more thought put into it. Overall on this album, I'm feeling a C-. Let me know what you guys think. If you like her, go support her. Who am I to, sway you from that? I'm not trying to do that. I'm just sharing what I think about this young woman. Congratulations on your success. Don't get me wrong, I wish I was in the spot that you were. That's what I've been trying to do for years now. Some more reviews will be coming. I'm sorry I still haven't gotten to William Michael Morgan and Mo Pitney. I'm working on it. But yeah, you can check out anything else on the channel. There's a great new video I uploaded of me doing some impressions of different singers singing different songs and stuff. Other videos, the regular segments, Jerk of the Week, things like that. So go entertain yourself and let me know what you think.